JC24-7.
Bonjour, bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Well, that's as far as I will go with that. But I'm here with a French colleague of mine who is on his way to becoming an outstanding minister of the gospel. But I shall tell you and warn you that he wasn't always a minister. In fact, believe it or not, the person with whom I sit, or next to whom I sit, is or was a drug lord. Now he has met the Lord. Welcome, Wilfred, to this telecast. Thank you for joining us as you share with us your thrilling experience of once a drug lord. Now you are in contact with the Lord of Lords.
Yeah.
Tell us, what was your life like as a teenager?
As a teenager, I grew up in a family. So my mother was still a student when I came in this world, and so I had to spend time with my grandmother. So I grew up with my grandmother until the age of 12.
Right.
Yeah, and after that, I went to my mother's home by the age of 13. So all my high school period was with my mother.
Okay, and this is in Martinique, right?
In Martinique. Yeah.
Martinique. What's Martinique like? Do you like it?
Yes, Martinique for me is the best island in the Caribbean.
Very good. But though it's the best island in the Caribbean, you weren't always representative of what Martinique was like.
No, I can say that I was the dark side of Martinique at the period.
Tell us exactly what that dark side entailed.
Oh,
briefly, if you like.
Okay, I mean that I was a drug lord, so I got involved in this business by choice. I chose to do it. It was not that I grew up in this environment, and I appreciate it, and I choose to do it.
Of course, to be a drug lord, it must have started somewhere.
Yes.
How did you start this whole process?
That started in Paris, strangely.
Oh, in Paris, okay.
Not in Martinique, in Paris. I had to go to Paris for study and to receive a good training for what I wanted to do. And when I reached there, I met some, for me at this time, interesting people. So, but they had this kind of way that they could make money easily. So I was with them, and we know that student life is not easy at all. So if you have a way to make money easily, so you step in. And I started there with them, making money easily. And after this year, I decided, okay, I go back to Martinique, and I will practice what I've learned in Paris.
Okay.
It's a matter of choice. I chose to do it.
And how did you go up the ladder?
So I was about to talk French. So when I reached back to the neighborhood, I remember I went to see the drugs lord of the neighborhood. I talked with him, and because I grew up in the neighborhood, so that was not a problem. So I started like just a man who pushed drugs in a corner, but I had great idea. So each time I had to talk with him, and he liked me a lot, but he understood that I could be a problem for him. He understood that early. So he tried to hold me back. But when I saw that, so it was a kind of fight, a kind of little war. So the neighborhood was divided at this point of time. So I had a part of the neighborhood, he had the other part of the neighborhood. And because I was smarter than him, maybe, I got all the neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah. What sort of drugs are we talking about?
At this point of time, it was only marijuana.
Marijuana.
Yeah, only marijuana.
So you started off with cigarettes?
Smoking? Yeah. No, I start straight with marijuana.
Straight with marijuana?
Yeah, straight with marijuana. Yeah.
Okay. How did it make you feel the first time you smoked it?
The first time I smoked it, we were working to go in a party, and we smoked that. So I was working, so I didn't have the effect.
Right.
But when we reached the party, I saw that I was free. I was able to talk with ladies. I was able to interact with people, and I felt that I was free.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to make you free and to make you talk, you had to take it.
Yeah.
Oh, and from that, you got deeper and deeper into
it. Yeah, deeper. I started to buy it by myself, and I started when I bought it. I remember when I was in school. I sold it for people. If I had a friend who wanted to smoke one, he had to come and give me just 2 euros.
Right.
So I got this kind of habit in the school.
Speaking of which, did it make you rich? Did it make you at least get some monies?
In high school, yes, I had money to buy some pastries. I had money to buy drinks. Yeah.
Right. But as you go up the ladder and became this drug lord, I mean, becoming a drug lord means that you must have worth something.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I use my brain a lot because I was educated so at a
Mm-hmm.
certain level. So I use my brain. I thought a lot to
Mm-hmm.
put things in place.
Right.
So that was not easy because you have to use violence.
Mm.
And for the violence part, I had a good friend for that.
Mm.
It was a friend that grew up with me, but he didn't have chance to study because
When
his
is it
family was poor.
when is it
So
violence? What are we talking about?
I talk about gun, we talk about
Oh, you
that you can use
okay.
to gain respect.
Okay, so you own guns and stuff like that.
Yes, I had my gun. I
Okay.
had my own gun.
Okay.
I had sometimes to use it.
Right.
So
Okay.
by this time, I didn't have a conscience. So for me,
Right.
that was nothing to use
Right.
a gun.
Right. Were you known in the community as a drug lord?
Yes,
You were known.
yes, and in my neighborhood, that was a good thing for me because and for my neighbor because sometimes you have some poor people in the neighborhood.
Right.
So sometimes I could buy a wash machine. Sometimes
Oh.
I could buy something things
Oh,
for
so you
them,
gain
some food.
respect by buying things for individuals.
Yes, for the whole people,
Right.
yes.
All right.
And for the young people, I just gain respect because they admire me, because they wanted
Admire.
to be like me. They
You got to be
wanted to be,
kidding me.
yes, they
Want to be
wanted,
like you.
yeah, because I had the style, I had
Right.
everything, motorbike, car,
Okay.
so they
Right.
wanted to have this kind of life. So
Right.
when I pass through the neighborhood to people or the young
Right.
people just yell, yeah, they
So
wanted to
they were
buy.
not about to sell you out,
No, no, never.
they would protect you.
Yeah.
My
Never.
goodness.
Because when I had good connection, and sometimes when the police wanted to do something, I was aware
Mm.
2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Oh, so the police was aware of who police officers
Yes,
were.
it was
Yeah.
aware, but they didn't have nothing against me because each time they tried something,
You were ahead of them.
yeah. And if sometimes they tried to come in my house by 5 in the morning or thing like that,
Right.
but I had always a young fella calling me and telling me, "Hey man, they're there, you have to move."
Oh, okay. So you had some inside men
Yeah,
who would be able to support
yeah,
you.
some guys. Yeah.
Did you at any time did you ever think it was wrong for what you were doing?
Yes, that happens sometimes because sometimes you're tired of violence. Even if you have a drug, you're a drug addict, you're tired of that.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you're tired of that, but you do it. You reach a point that you do it because you have to do it.
Right.
That becomes a job
Right.
because
Okay.
you have to do it. You
Yeah.
have to use violence. I remember once I used violence on a lady. She had an handicap, and I had to do something because you have to do something because you have people watching you.
Uh-huh.
So I remember I had an issue with a man, and I couldn't find the man because the man was aware that I was looking for him.
Uh-huh.
And when I phoned the lady, I had to do something. And
Uh-huh.
I remember I slapped this lady, I slapped in a corner. And the lady had a disability that was,
Wow.
yeah, and I did it. So sometimes that happened until now by
So you were
night
slapping her because of what?
because that was a message to her husband.
Oh,
Yeah,
to slap her.
yes, that was a message that I will get you and that will be worse for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did you feel doing that?
Oh, you feel great because you get respect, more respect because
Right.
people see you like a beast, like a man without conscience, and they're
Wait.
afraid of you when you go in a party.
I think I better move aside a little bit here.
The man is there, so
Oh.
wow, people
Wow.
just respect you. But that's not respect for me.
What became of the lady though? What happened to her?
To the lady, she tried to go to the police. When she went to the police, some policemen tried to come and see me, but I didn't give them a chance to approach me, and I had people there for that.
Right.
And I remember I understood that, oh, there is something wrong. And we run by this lady and we break everything in the house. We put a gun on her head and we told her, hey, you have to go back to the police and tell her that you give up on this thing.
Wow.
And she confessed that yes, it was me, and I'm tired of you. You want to kill my husband, and now you want to kill me. And I said, you have to go back. When she went back to the police, she said, okay, everything is all right. So the police say, okay, everything is nice. You take back your I don't know how you call that. Yeah, your statement. And after that, I went to the police. I said, yes, you wanted to see me? I'm there. They said, no, I have nothing against you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I try to imagine a man like you needing a gun. I mean, your size alone is very intimidating.
But I did not trust my size because people in front of me use gun.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But that kind of life would have at least made some kind of negative impact in the community.
Yes.
So were there people who didn't like you?
Yes, I had some people who did not like me. Some people, they were teachers in high school, and they tried to help the community. They tried to have some meeting with the young people, try to give them some, trying to help them with their assignment, their schoolwork. But yeah,
Were you ever afraid
no,
of the
to be
police?
told, no,
You're not afraid of the police?
no. Sometimes I made joke with them.
Make joke with police officers.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. The police is not like Trinidad, eh?
Oh, okay.
Here you are policemen.
Oh,
But in France, they are bound by all the law that we have.
Right.
And because I was an educated one, so I spent time in the book.
Right.
And I know the limit that I had, and I knew also their limit. So I used that against them. And most of the time, I was making fun. Oh, you're there. Hello. How you doing?
Is it that they were afraid of you?
Not afraid, but they were limited by they were bound by the law.
My Lord have mercy.
Yeah. Here, that could have been different. Trust me.
Yeah. Well, when we come back, I mean, we are talking to Wilfred Favela, who was, as you have heard, a drug lord. He has met the Lord. We have spoken about his life as a drug lord. When we come back, we will speak about his life having met the Lord.
Once in darkness, now in light. Once blind, now I see. Once a sinner, now a saint. Once bound, now free. That's the power of the cross. See the chains fall. That's the power of the cross. See the chains fall. Once a stranger, now a child, empty, now filled. Once condemned, now reconciled, broken, now healed. That's the power of the cross. See the chains fall. That's the power of the cross. See the chains fall. Once a prodigal, now home. Was lost, now found.
Welcome back to JC24/7. I'm here with Wilfred Favela. He's now a minister, but he was once a drug lord. Now he is ministering on behalf of the Lord. When we were speaking a while ago, we were talking about your experiences as a drug lord. Did you have any Christian experience while you were growing up? Were you raised in a Christian home?
No, that's interesting. I grew up in a home with my grandmother, as I told before, and my grandmother was a Catholic one, and she had one of her daughters. She was an Adventist, and we had some issues on Saturday morning because
Right.
my grandmother wanted to do some
Right.
pork or thing like that, and every Saturday was
conflict.
something
Oh, okay.
conflict and
Right.
thing like that. But I did not have personally. I do not have any kind
Right.
of Christian background.
But now you're a minister. I'm interested to find out, how did you get to that point? What led you to the Lord?
What led me to the Lord? So sometimes when I was what we call in Martinique the place, it's the place where we're selling
Right.
drugs and things. We call that the place.
The place, all right.
Yes, when I was on the place, I remember two Jehovah Witness. They came by me and but I respect this man because that was not easy to come by me, but they came. And when they came, we started to talk. But my first question was, how can you believe in a God that you cannot see? And I took a big amount of money. I say, you see that? I can trust this thing because I can touch it, I can feel it, that's concrete. I took marijuana and I say, you see that?
You
That's
showed the guy
something-
marijuana?
Yes, marijuana. That's some things that I can see and I can feel. And I took some cocaine because I
You
used
showed
to
cocaine
yeah,
too?
I used to sell cocaine too. I said, you see that? That is something that I can see and I can
Right.
touch. That gives me money. That's concrete thing.
Right.
So now you talk to me about something that is for me abstract. So
Right.
you talk to me about God.
Right.
How can you believe in a God that you cannot see? You don't even have a car, so you come by me walking. So I don't know. Give me a proof that there is a God,
Right.
and they were so uncomfortable
Right.
because they tried all that they could. They
Right.
tried to give me Bible text, and I said,
Right.
"But that's still the Bible. So give me something."
Right.
And that was something for them.
Wow.
So
Oh.
talk to me about faith, and I said, "Oh, okay, I have faith in that because I can see that. You are talking to me about something that I cannot see."
Right.
So they try and they even pray with me. Some things that they don't do this thing. Now I
Right.
know that normally they don't do. So I had this privilege to pray with
Wow.
two Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
So they prayed with me. They tried
Wow,
to
boy.
pray with me. And after that, they asked me, "How do you feel?" I said, "Nothing." I was just there. My eyes was closed and I was listening to what you are saying. But nothing happened deep in me. So
You intimidated the people into prayer.
yeah.
But then, what led you, if you really didn't believe in this God and you wanted somebody that you can touch? Now, the same God still exists. We can't see him. How did you get to meet this one?
Okay, I was organizing party. I was a guy who organized party. I had some star. I called them. They came and they were thinking. I used to make money like that too. And I remember once a lady stole from me 30,000 euro. That's money. So I had to do something because you're a drug lord. So you cannot stay there and say, okay, you can keep it. No, you have to do something. And so this lady, when she was aware that I was looking for her, she tried to see what we call in my country a seer. So it's some kind of guys living in the wood and doing monster. And when she tried that, and the goal was to maybe to kill me with this thing. And I realized once I was at home, and I realized that the chair was moving by itself, the table, the curtains started to take kind of foam and things. So. And I said, "Whoa, what happened there?" And that was something for me, and I tried to pray because it was a spiritual.
Oh, you want God now, huh?
Yeah, and I tried to pray, and when I tried to pray, I realized that when I pray, you see, there is a kind of calm that took place.
Right.
And for me, that became just a tool.
Okay.
Like that was not a matter of faith in God or something. That was just a tool. So that was something that I can use because I couldn't use my gun.
Right.
So I had to use something. So that became a kind of tool for me.
Right.
So I realized that when you pray, there's a calm that took place. So I just pray just to calm down things. That was it.
A magic wand. You wave the magic wand of prayer.
Yeah.
All right. And that went on for how long?
That for maybe a month because I had to change. I had to go in hotel. When I went to hotel to the different hotels, that was the same thing. Same thing happened. So I had to leave Martinique because the old lady told me that when you cross the sea, everything will be all right. So
you ran away.
Yeah, so I tried to cross the sea. So I went to Guadeloupe. When I reached Guadeloupe, I went to an hotel. When I reached the hotel, so same thing happened.
Who's running you down? Who's running out?
So that was evil spirit. Now I know. Now I know. But by this time, for me, that was people.
Lord Father,
I can really describe that. For me, I knew that I was in trouble and I had to do something. And I remember once in Guadeloupe in a hotel, something appeared in the room. That just appeared in the room with the shape of a human being, but I couldn't really distinguish the face or thing like that. But deep inside, I felt that, oh man, that's your last day on earth. Because I could feel something bad, like someone who came in the room to kill you. You can feel it.
Okay.
You can feel when something wrong when there is this kind of thing.
Right.
And I realized that, whoa, something wrong there. I will die tonight. So I remember I just prayed. But I prayed with all my heart this time. I remember I said, I am a rebel. And God, I know I am a rebel. So, but now I need you. And if you really exist, if you really have doing things, doing stuff, running the world, so now I need you. You have to do something for me now. And I remember this thing stayed in the room all the night with me.
You stayed all night?
All the night.
Oh, you know that. You stayed up all night?
I stayed up watching him. Yeah, because I had to watch myself.
You were a security officer.
Yeah, I spent the night there until something deep inside happened, and I understood that I had to leave Guadeloupe. So I went by the port. When I reached the port, the customer, because they knew me already, so they said, there is something happening in Guadeloupe now. We need to find out what this guy was doing here. So they tried to hold me there, and I couldn't take the boat. They put me in a kind of room that with all my suitcase, my luggage. I couldn't take the boat. They said, no, you will go nowhere. We have to find out. So they called the police in Martinique. The police in Martinique was agree with them. So the thing was just a mess. And I saw a man, I remember, with a red top. He came by me and he told me, what are you doing there? And I just said, but I can't go nowhere because the customers, they told me that I have to stay there. They're trying to find out what I was doing in Guadeloupe, and I did nothing. That was false because,
there you go.
And he told me, man, come with me, man. You have to go, the boat will leave. You have to come with me now. Come, I told you, come. What are you doing? Come. So I took my suitcases and I started to follow this man. And I saw the customer, he said, hey. And I said, I don't know, this man just told me to follow him. And the customer couldn't say nothing. He just stayed just like that. So I started to run. I went to the boat. And when I reached the boat, I wanted to say thanks because I slept in the boat. And when I look back, I see nobody.
Oh, he wasn't there. A guy in red.
Yes.
So you delivered by red.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And the guy, nobody there. And I remember there were two ladies there, and I asked them for the guys. They said, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, okay. Wow. I spent 4 hours in the boat trying to figure out what happened.
Wow. And so that sort of affected your life from then on?
That affected my life because when I reached back, I have to admit that when I reached back to Martinique, so I went back to my old stuff.
To your trade.
Yes, I started to smoke marijuana, snort cocaine, and drink alcohol, and I remember once I was on that place and I said, no, there is a God, something happened, so I have to do something because he did his part, so I have to do my part now. And I went to a Jehovah's Witness church. I spent 2 hours there. I went to a Pentecostal church. I went to all kind of church. And I went to an Adventist church, an SDA church with a Trinidadian, Christopher Lockhart.
Christopher Lockhart.
Yes,
Okay,
he said here, he preached here, and he spent some time with me explaining me what's happening there. This kind of spiritual fight and spiritual war. And when he explained to me that, I understood that, whoa, it was the first minister that I met were able to explain to me what's really happened to me. And when he did it, I remember I used to go to the church, and I used to go to the church under drugs. So, and he saw that, and he said one night, there is someone in this church, maybe thinking that he is at the wrong place, but I want to tell him that God is telling him that he is at the right place. Yeah, and after that I wanted to see him, and he told me, no, you don't want to see me, you want to talk to your God now. I don't want to see you anymore, so go and talk to your God. Christopher Lockhart is the guy, he's a real treaty man. He's a Frank. He'll tell you the thing and you have to deal with it. And I had to deal with it. I had to deal with it.
And you dealt with it.
Yeah.
And eventually you were getting baptized.
Yes, the time came when I had to get baptized, so I saw the pastor, but the elders and things, the thing was, a fight.
Oh boy, they
Yeah.
want no drug lord in their church.
No, because you have young people in the church, you have people in the church. So I remember some elders, because even one told me that by the time back then you have to study maybe 1 or 2 years before you got baptized in Martinique.
Wow, okay.
So the kind of man like me thought that that could be good for me to go that way.
You might need about 5 years.
Yeah. And the pastor said, it was a short man. He said, no. I will baptize this guy. I will do it. Whatever you think. And I remember I met another pastor, and he wanted me to go through a long process and thing. And I said, man, I don't have time for that. And the younger pastor stood for me and he said, no, if you don't want to do it, I will do it. I will do it. I will baptize this man, and I will take my responsibility for that. Yes, and it happened. I got baptized,
Praise the Lord.
And now I have good friends in the church.
Not only do you have good friends, but now you are becoming a minister.
Yes.
Wow, what caused that? Very briefly.
What caused that is a friend of mine, a pastor now. He was student at USC, and each year when he reached back to Martinique for vacation, he told me, God talked to me.
Right.
You have to go to USC and study. And each year I said no. No, because by this time I had studied, I was someone, I had maybe 100 or 200 people under me in charge of 1, 2, 3 malls. And I said, no, man, I have a good life, man. That's okay for me. No, man. Until the last year, it was about to go back to his last semester.
Right.
And my boss called me and he just told me, hey, man, I'll fire you because we have some problem now we have to deal with, and I can't deal with you anymore. And so on.
Wow.
He told me, you see, God is putting things in place
for you.
to get you, so you have to go. And I couldn't speak English. I couldn't do nothing in English, so I reached here.
Couldn't speak English?
No. And 2011, I reached here, and I could say just glass or a cup of water or something like that. Just the basic thing, good morning, good evening.
Wow.
Yeah, and God put things in place. Now I can write English, I can understand English, but so I'm still struggling to speak English.
You can do an interview in English.
I can do an interview in English now.
And you sound very good. I can understand what
Thank
you're
you.
saying.
Thank you.
You sound good.
Sure.
Now that you have become a minister, do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. No regrets.
Very good. Tell me something as we begin to wrap up this thing. What about all this money you have made?
Oh, that's interesting.
Not that I'm interested in getting any. That's a disclaimer. But
once because I had some link to put the money in bank, because you have to be organized while you're doing this thing. And when I went to see my banker, he just told me, man, all the money disappeared. Yeah, I wanted to sue him because he knew what I was doing. So I wanted to sue him, and Helder told me, "Man, you don't even have money to buy bread or to eat, and you will sue someone. Stop that, man. You have to understand that Satan gives you everything because he was using you. But now you decide to work with God. He took back everything.
Have mercy. Have mercy.
He took back everything. You just have to understand that Satan took back everything. So, man, stop fighting with that and move with God."
Praise the Lord.
Yeah.
I'm sorry we have to wrap this thing up, but closing remarks, and your closing remarks. There's somebody who's looking at this who might be either in drugs or may know of somebody who is in drugs, and you want to tell them, give them a word of assurance that this is not the place that they should be.
Okay.
I want you to talk to the camera.
Okay. Now I can say, I know your feeling because you are a drug lord, you have a reputation, and you have the one that people respecting on the road. So sometimes you look at people maybe going to church, as happened to me, or people who go to work and you regret this kind of stuff, but you are trapped by your own business now. So for you, you have to go and continue what you are doing. But I just want to say there is a way that you can step out this thing.
Amen.
Maybe you will have to move out the country because you have so many enemies now. But sometimes to step in eternal life, you have to flee and you have to abandon. And the word is not too much all that you are doing now. Just do it. I did it, and God protect me.
Praise the Lord. Thank you, Wilfred, for taking the time to share with us, if only briefly, your experience as a drug lord and also your experience with the Lord. Wilfred said it best. He whom the Son sets free is free indeed. If you want to catch this interview again, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel that appears at the bottom of the screen, or you can call us, email us, just drop us a line, and we'll be only too happy to respond. In the meantime, know that if a drug lord can meet the Lord, what about you? You too can be a servant of the Lord. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you once again on JC247.